Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Let's talk a little bit about the real reason, the selfish reason, that SEC Supreme Leader and Dictator Kim Jong-Gary is going about everything he can to destroy Ripple and XRP. What's the real reason that he's doing this, and the real reason that he's effectively attacking crypto? Because I think the vast majority, if not 100% of the people listening right now, would agree that that's a reasonable assessment as to what the ultimate impact is of Gary Gensler's approach to crypto. It is bad out here. Well, I'll tell you what, the Forbes writer here, senior contributor Rosalind Layton, has written a piece here titled SEC Chair Gensler's War on Crypto is About His Resume. I've been looking forward to reading this one. I've had a little bit more limited time. I apologize if anybody has noticed this, but I am on vacation. I still love running this YouTube channel though, so I'm not like pausing, putting out content, but in terms of my ability to spend time researching and preparing, it's diminished, and that's fine. But I haven't actually read this article yet, so I thought I'd just be upfront about that. But Rosalind Layton, when she writes an article having to do with crypto, I know I want to cover it. I've read everything that she's written on this topic, dating back to whenever her first piece was. It may have been the tail end of December, actually. It may have been that far back that she started covering this topic, these stories. And it's just an absolute home run, every single article she's ever written. So I already know I wanted to cover it, so we can just experience this for the first time together. So I'm just going to run through this and share some thoughts along the way. But that's where we coming from now. But I do want to be clear at the outset, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. In we go, folks. Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler, his crusade against cryptocurrencies has surprised many. His 3-year stint as a senior advisor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT for short, Media Lab's digital currency initiative before leading the SEC, suggested that he would bring an enlightened approach to crypto. No such luck. Gensler's foray into cryptocurrencies appears to be more a professional resume builder than a coherent regulatory vision for the innovation that can democratize finance. Along the way, he's been happy to play along with the SEC's word games on whether crypto is a currency or security, as long as it moves him to center stage. It's part of the DC playbook. The regulatory white knight confirmed on the premise to make things right, implements some industry-friendly policy marketed as pro-consumer, and then takes the next plum job. So I'll just say this. A lot of people in crypto, there's no shortage of this. This is the prevailing wisdom as he was going through the confirmation process, Gary Gensler, is that, oh man, clearly he's so knowledgeable about crypto. People were equating knowledge about crypto to some sort of pro-crypto stance, which clearly has proven to not be the case. And just because he understands some very key things about cryptocurrencies doesn't mean that the way in which he wants to oversee it is remotely reasonable or a correct way of going about things. And so, despite the tremendous optimism that many in the crypto space had, it turns out that when he got in here, it is about himself. And like I've been saying for the longest damn time, and look, Gary Gensler, he's continuing the horrific policies of former SEC Chair Jay Clayton. It's like that on steroids. Like, he's worse than Jay Clayton. That's for damn sure. And it became very clear once he got in that this was basically it's a power grab and a money grab. And to him, I think what's more important to him is the power portion, because he's already worth, I think his net worth is something like north of $120 million. He doesn't care about the money any not additionally. At least it wouldn't be the most important motivating factor for him in anything he's doing career wise. And as far as funds for the SEC, I mean, it is the government. You've kind of got an infinite taxpayer money, right? Not literally, but you know what I'm saying here. And so it really does look more so that he just wants to grab power. That's exactly what it looks like here. And that's what clearly Rosson's getting at here. So check out what she wrote. Many misread Gensler. His MIT perch conferred the appearance of academic expertise on blockchain. It turns out there is little record of him writing or speaking about the technology until the school hired him in 2018. His few academic presentations were co-authored by the driving force of the school's crypto program, Media Lab director Joichi Ito, whose name I probably butchered, but it is what it is. I do it again. Moon Lambo, try hard. Gensler's MIT speeches and interviews were not about the substance of blockchain, but rather commentary curated to make him look like a policy expert. Now, the archive of Gensler's MIT bio shows almost no background in technology. After 2 decades at Goldman Sachs, his stint at MIT was a needed stop on the Democrat power train, conferring the academic bona fide to secure his nomination as SEC chair. Now, in retrospect, the Ito's Media Lab policy strategy becomes clear. Keep retrograde Bitcoin unregulated, it's not vital to Wall Street anyway, but every other crypto asset is up for regulatory grabs. And I will say this, to the Supreme Leader Kim Jong-gary's credit, he did seem, at a minimum at least, to understand XRP's usage as a bridge currency. He's actually publicly articulated that at one of these classes, but I sit there and I recognize as he's gone through it, I'm thinking, okay, so if you understand the purpose there, as Ripple's positioning XRP anyway, you're acknowledging utility while your little army of asshat lawyers is pretending that there actually isn't any sort of utility for XRP. That's actually what they're arguing. They dispute that there's actual XRP utility, which I find comical. But outside of that, I'm not going to pretend to know everything that well, at least what people in crypto thought that Gary Gensler knew. I've seen him say various things here, but I've thought that his analysis in terms of what is and is not a security was ridiculous, dating back to 2018. So that part's not new for me. Anyway, piece continues here, though. In 2015, Ito told the MIT Bitcoin Expo that the Media Lab's crypto program came together because, quote, we don't even know who is in charge, end quote, and he wanted MIT to step into that role. Ito's view was decidedly Bitcoin maximalist, saying, quote, the biggest risk to Bitcoin is the architecture of the community not being robust, end quote, and the need to choose which assets other than Bitcoin would be, quote, in or out, are altcoins part of it? What about Ripple, end quote, Ito asked. Yeah, and it's just, if Bitcoin, by the way, if it's supposed to be the end-all, be-all, I'll tell you what, these maximalists, they are shockingly scared of the long-term viability of any cryptocurrency that's not Bitcoin. Just how frail and fragile is your beloved Bitcoin if anything that's not it gaining adoption threatens? It's like, come on. It's completely absurd. The piece continues. He was referring to the company that was pioneering a faster, greener consensus protocol, the XRP ledger, to compete with Bitcoin's slow, fossil fuel-intensive proof-of-work mechanism. Ito expertly deployed progressive buzzwords and purrs to advocate for Wall Street's preferred regulatory model, community architecture, open networks, and a regulatory incubator that put altcoins and Ripple in their place behind Bitcoin. Gensler was the perfect frontman for the lab, according to reporting by Charles Gasparino in the New York Post. Gensler moved quickly after coming aboard and requested a meeting in March 2018 with then SEC Chair Jay Clayton. The SEC just emerged from a rash of enforcement actions against crypto frauds and scam coins throughout 2017 and was pondering whether to declare the 3 top cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP, to be unregistered securities and subject to costly enforcement actions. Now, Gasparino reports that Gensler advocated for a free pass for Bitcoin as a true crypto, but that Ether and XRP were skirting securities laws, trading as non-registered securities without SEC oversight. And weeks later, he told the New York Times that there is a strong case for both of them, but particularly Ripple. They are non-compliant securities. I remember covering that even back in the day, back in 2018. And I think, and I have a better understanding of this stuff now, even without a legal background. I'm not pretending like I have some sort of legal background, but I think the layperson can understand this. Most of you listening, you're like me, no legal background, but we're not idiots. We can figure this stuff out here. And I still thought back then it was a very poor argument, and even today, in 2021, I think it's even more ridiculous because the truth is that no cryptocurrencies, by the nature of them existing, are securities. Anyway, Gensler's zeal to be a top regulator and Ito's apparent zeal to pick a winner, Bitcoin, were a match made in heaven. Neither seemed interested in setting clear, coherent rules that could be applied across the board as much as they wanted to set rules that were best for them. In their June 2018 presentation, Gensler and Ito referenced the Howey test from the 1946 Supreme Court decision that established a method for defining securities but never contemplated the complexities of blockchains and ledgers. Gensler also proffered the duck test. If something quacks, walks, and looks like a security, then it's a security. That's very sophisticated right there. Yeah, it's true, but I don't think you have to take a hammer to all this. Like, anybody thinks we have to take a hammer to this, like, I challenge that idea. And some people think that, and at least you're still trying to get to, like, some sort of solution, so I can respect your attempt to rationally, logically think through this, because that's all I'm trying to do too. Doesn't mean I'm right about everything either. But the huge part of this comes down to this issue of common enterprise. If there is a common enterprise, then that can only be the case if centralization is at play. But if there's not centralization, then there isn't a common enterprise. And so that's crucial. It's a crucial concept when it comes to cryptocurrency. So really what you need to do is have something in place, some sort of policy, some sort of litmus test from the SEC that would indicate whether something is or is not sufficiently decentralized. But they don't want to do that, because then they're kind of tying their hands basically, and they can't make as many legal complaints against all sorts of entities because they want to rule by enforcement. That's pretty damn clear. So of course that's not the way that they're going. Anyway, piece continues. But Gensler and Ito assert that ducks can morph into giraffes if they are sufficiently decentralized, something not contemplated in Howey, but eagerly advocated by Ethereum to its friends inside the SEC at the time. Gensler and Ito also made a self-contradicting regulatory indictment of Bitcoin rival XRP, saying it is an investment contract in Ripple, the company, but conceded that the XRP token and ledger would still function independently if Ripple were to disappear. So all of these exceptions seem rooted in making the lack of regulatory clarity a Rorschach test of convenient, self-serving theories. It lets Ito argue for keeping altcoins outside of the community architecture while letting Ethereum get a regulatory pass. Gensler gets to lord over the regulatory realm while bolstering his party credentials with flashy enforcement actions that deliver him to his next job. Treasury Secretary. So there you have, this is what Rosin's getting at. Everything he's doing now, it's setting him up for the next part of his professional career here. Treasury Secretary. Not all is well at MIT, however. While Gensler is golden, Ito took the fall for revelations that the MIT lab was financed in part by Jeffrey Epstein and Leon Black. Moreover, investors are revolting against the SEC. On his last day in 2020, Clayton, in the name of investor protection, filed a $1.3 billion enforcement action against Ripple, claiming that XRP has been an unregistered security since 2013 and everyone should have known. The case has become an embarrassment for the agency, putting the SEC itself on trial for its arbitrary determinations and absurd take on due process. Over 50,000 outraged XRP holders have filed a class action lawsuit claiming that the agency tanked their holdings. Gensler refuses to engage the retail crypto investors he claims to be defending, and his incoherent everything crackdown on the United States financial marketplace only strengthens the idea that his war on crypto is about furthering his career, not what's best for investors, the economy, or innovation. Whew, golf clap for Miss Layton there. Wow. That is another excellent piece right there. I'm telling you, she has just a way with these words. It's just, she can really cut through, articulating exactly what is occurring, but rather succinctly and powerfully. Excellent piece, which is what I've come to expect, which is why, again, I was like, I almost never cover articles having not read them first. Very rarely, or if there's just a few points in an article and I just want to cover specific parts, yeah, I'll do that too, in which case I mentioned it, but no, when it comes to this, I was like, yeah, I already know I'm going to like it. I was right. And it's good. It's good to see mainstream media too articulating these types of positions. It really is. I mean, it's another part of mainstream media here. And it's been great increasingly seeing more and more within the mainstream media jump on board here. So cool stuff all around, is it not? I'll go ahead and wrap up here, though. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.